This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts.
Hey, it's Rayven. I wanted to announce 2 new affiliate programs that Smoking Out the Closet is now a part of. First, I would like to announce a Pittsburgh local company, The Hemp Co., with 2 E's in the. They offer hemp-derived products including Delta 8 and Delta 9 gummies, vape cartridges, and pre-rolls, HHC vape cartridges, and sustainably used devices and products. All products are made with hemp bioplastic for all your cannabis device needs. And every product is third-party lab tested, DEA certified, and Farm Bill compliant. If you're looking to visit them in person, you can visit them at 20280 Route 19, Number 3, Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, 16066, or online at theehempco.com. Be sure to use SOTC20 at checkout for 20% off on us. And we're also wildly excited about our partnership with Blazy Susan. They offer their iconic Blazy Susan rolling tray, as well as papers and cones in unbleached hemp, their famous pink, and their brand new purple colors. Follow our affiliate link in the show notes and use Blazy10, BLAZY10, for 10% off on checkout. Now, on with the episode. Hi, I'm Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Asmodeus. I use he, they, them pronouns.
And welcome back to another episode of Smoking Out the Closet. For those of you who are new or just joining us, we are a queer podcast that talks about cannabis, the LGBT community, and everything in between beyond.
So welcome.
Before we start the episode, I just wanted to apologize for missing last week. Everything got really busy.
And somebody had a birthday.
Yes.
2 people had a birthday in the past 2 weeks.
you had your birthday too.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
As of recording this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I worked Saturday. I was off for my birthday. Oh no! I was off that Sunday because we were going to celebrate my birthday, so we didn't record. I worked Monday, and then I was off Tuesday, but we were waiting for like maintenance guys to come in and expecting them to like actually do a lot of like big stuff, making a lot of noise and everything, so we're waiting for them.
And they just come in and test the smoke alarms, test the exhaust fans, and leave.
And I was like, you know what? I'm too mentally checked out at this point. I'm not going to be able to do the podcast.
And then me being off the whole day beforehand, I thought they were coming that day, not, your actual birthday. And then I was like, well, I'm just sitting here waiting for them. And I didn't get too comfy, didn't get too into doing anything in case they came. And I didn't get to chill. So, yeah.
Yeah, we needed a time to recharge and just kind of work around the hectic schedule that was the last few days or the early last week around, record and release days.
Yeah.
But we're back. Do you want to talk about the strain you picked today that was surprising me?
Absolutely. It surprised me too. So today we're smoking on Lemon Splash by Kind Tree. And 16.08% THCA, 0.54% CBG, 0.41% THC, and 0.19% CBG. Top 3 terps are going to be caryophyllene at 0.33%. Limonene at 0.19, beta-myrcene at 0.18, linalool is at 0.15, and everything else is under 0.1%. For it only being 16%, and those terps aren't anything super crazy, this slaps.
It did.
It's up there almost with their Girl Scout cookies for me.
And it's in a Mylar. It's one of their first strains that came out in the Mylar bag.
And it's not crunchy. That's the one thing I don't like about the Girl Scout cookies is it gets dry fast. The outside gets dry. It kind of keeps a little bit of its integrity in the middle. But, this is just still has a little bit of buoyance and stick to
Mhm.
it.
It was very floral scent to it when I was grinding it, and then when it tasted, it kind of tastes like a mix between like a lemon drop and lemon scented GameStop.
Like lemon pledge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lemon scented GameStop is an inside joke I might explain down the road. Today might not be the day because I'm really high. What would you rate it?
Probably a 4 out of 5. It's really good. I really like it.
You know, I would agree with you on that one wholeheartedly. A 4 out of 5.
It's a very nice, uplifting strain. Quiets my anxiety. Makes me feel like I can do that. My initial thing was like, I want to smoke this and play video games. You know, I've been playing Smash Brothers again recently.
Yes.
Play Smash Brothers or something. This is very nice. Like, I feel like I can relax and focus on something fun kind of strain.
Yeah, and it's it's very, I really like the cure on this one. Like like you said, it's not as crunchy as it usually is, which makes it very surprising for me. But it's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot more than I was expecting from Country, if I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah, it is pretty good.
But yeah, keep an eye on Country because like they're changing the packaging, and I feel like a lot of people are changing to the Mylar bags nowadays. Is going to change a lot of things for the quality of the products.
I've told you this before. It's a combination of two things. It's cheaper because they don't use as much materials, and it also keeps your shit like hydrated. You don't need Bavita packs in there, or like it works.
Yeah, because it's air sealed.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with the little quiz thing that I introduced as an idea?
Yeah. So.
Do you want to introduce it, or do you want me to introduce it?
You introduce it because it's your idea, but then
Okay.
I'll do the first part of it.
So I wanted to bring up kind of a thing of how well do we know terminology? Especially kind of like it's a thing for me also to kind of figure out as someone who's been is newer to weed between the two of us.
Yeah.
I am the noob comparatively, and I've gotten a lot better in the last couple years. You know, especially since starting the podcast, I've gotten a little more knowledge. So I wanted to see where we were.
I know I've also explained some stuff to you and how stuff works.
A lot of the times, especially when I first started.
Yeah.
So, that being said, we're using Leafly's Dictionary of Weed Slang. Was last updated February 1st of this year. And we're going to kind of say some of the slang and see if the other one can get it. So as you're doing the first half, you're reading the first half for me to answer.
Okay, so here's some of they break down the thing into categories. So the first category is nicknames, words we use to describe or identify weed. And I'm not going to read the little blurb beforehand. I'm just going to go straight into the list. And the list breaks down into these guys are the good ones. So chronic. What do you think? What do you think chronic is?
On a scale of...
The definition for chronic, is it like...
Oh.
What does it mean? Do you want me to give you like ABC answers?
Yeah, like it is like I'm supposed to be guessing like this one means good, this one means bad, this one means it's okay kind of thing.
I thought we were guessing like the definition of the words.
Oh,
that's what I thought.
Of the
that's
word.
what I thought we were doing.
Okay.
No, because this category, like it. I'll give you a little bit of context, some hints.
Okay.
It's like some good names.
So chronic is where you would want to chronically smoke it. It's like so good that you're gonna need it all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I feel like that's what that means. Do you want me to like? How do we want to define this? Do we want to Google definition it?
I don't know. I didn't really look at it. I just know the part where I'm at actually has the answers.
The part
Of, like,
you're at
what-
is the answers?
of like what the word slang means.
Yeah, no, the first part has a list for me, and then there's another section of like, I guess that's just nicknames for the plant was the first part. So,
Okay.
and I guess they do have some like better notations to them. So like chronic, dank, electric lettuce, kind of giving you like a general overview. I think a lot of people just know all the different nicknames.
Okay.
And then it goes into how like measurements of weed.
Okay, so what let me I guess then try doing all the nicknames then.
Okay.
So we got chronic, ganja, zaza, electric lettuce, devil's lettuce, mids, boof. I don't know if boof's an official one. I just know we say that at work a lot. Fuck.
You're not doing bad so far.
Hash or hashish. I don't know if that's going to be a slang, considering that was technically a form. The sticky icky. I don't know. I can't think of any more.
So some of the ones that you didn't get, dank.
How the fuck did I forget?
I don't know how you miss dank. Exotic. It's fire. It's fuego.
It's gas.
It's gas. It's grass. It's herb. It's jazz cabbage.
Oh, fucking jazz cabbage.
It's fucking jazz cabbage. It's kind. It's loud. It's Mary Jane.
How the fuck? I must be fucking high.
Perps.
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 Like granddaddy perps.
Perps. Yeah. Tree. Little tree.
R/trees.
R/trees. Carpet weed.
Carpet weed.
Carpet weed.
Is that like bad weed?
Yeah, this is neutral. We're a neutral category. Creeper. Smalls. OUID, the TikTok slang, so you don't get flagged.
Oh yeah. Weed.
Pot.
Yeah. Man, I've missed a lot.
We go to the bad. Ditchweed. Bammer. I've never heard of that.
I never either of those.
Reefer.
Reefer
madness.
Well, yeah, I guess in context it is bad lingo or bad slang.
And there's bad connotations to it. Thanks, Nixon. Schwag? SCHWAG. This one has a clickable link. Low quality cannabis that usually contains buds with stems, seeds, and leaves. It's distinct from trim, which is sugar leaves and other plant material. I only smoke, their quote is, I only smoke top shelf bud and save the swag for making hash or edibles.
Oh.
Yeah. It's too bad to sell at a dispensary usually. Unlike trim, which is sugar leaves and other things, swag buds may contain the stems, leaves, fans. Shit we don't get at a medical dispensary.
Gotcha. The trim that they usually just burn.
Yeah. And Reggie was also.
Oh, that's like a regular customer, right?
Yeah, Reggie,
or
regular.
A cash. Like, parry this, you filthy casual.
Okay. All right, so you're ready to move into. I think you might have a little bit more of an advantage. We both work in a dispensary here. We're going into measurements.
Unless you work in a dispensary in the state of fucking Ohio, where it's all controlled by the pharmaceutical board, so you get 2.85.
You guys don't count.
Is your eighth?
Yins don't count. It's like everybody else using metric in the United States uses fucking imperial. We don't count.
Yeah.
Yins don't count. You don't use the standard. A dime bag.
That is a 1/10 of a gram of flour. It's like a small little baggie worth of weed, but I can't remember the exact measurement.
So your final answer?
I want to say it's a 1/10.
No, it's a half gram for $10.
Oh.
It's $10 worth.
Oh, half gram.
Gram.
I was thinking 1/10 of an ounce. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's a half gram or $10 worth of weed.
Okay.
What's a dub sack?
I don't fucking know.
It's also called a G.
Oh, just a gram?
Yeah.
Oh.
$20. Depending on city.
Never heard. You
How
gotta
many
remember,
people it's gone through?
I've never fucking bought weed off the street. What?
A Henry VIII.
An eighth?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, want to buy an 8?
A Henry VIII. Yeah, an 8 or a Henry VIII.
3.5 grams.
Yeah. A quarter. Standard
7
dispensary
grams.
slang, yeah. A zip or an OZ.
A zip's a full ounce.
Yup.
I only know that because he was originally our general manager and they got promoted. We were doing a sale or something and he's like, half a zip for that? And I'm like, what the hell's a zip? He goes, full ounce?
Mm.
Oh.
I know I've used that term at my dispensary too. Like, oh yeah, this guy just bought a full zip of the fucking ground flower.
Hey, it's not bad if you're using that.
Yeah. Interesting. Lid.
I don't know, the lid? Patrick, the lid.
The lid.
I don't know.
Many claim it to be an ounce, but most people describe it as 4 fingers worth in a time where scales weren't common.
Oh, I have heard 4 fingers.
The story of the lid seems to be the amount you could fit on the lid from a specific type of tobacco tin, but the actual amount seems to vary. I know the tobacco tins they're talking about. That's a pretty big lid.
Mm.
All right. Well, now I've hit consumption. You said you want to do consumption to quiz me?
Yes.
So I'm going to scroll back up without looking at it.
Yes. Also, it was very loud. I did not mean to put my mug down that hard. Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Banger.
That's the piece you get hot when you take a dab. That's your banger.
Yeah, that's a type of nail for dabbing.
Yeah.
Baddie.
Oh. I know the person. Weed slang, however, I don't know. I think it's like when you describe like a piece, it's a baddie, it hits well, it's like...
It's a one-hitter.
Oh, it's a one-hitter?
It's a one-hitter.
I have a baddie.
Bingers.
Bingers?
Mm-hmm. Don't know?
I have no idea.
Bong loads.
Interesting.
Doink. You know this by another name.
Doink.
Yes. I will say you know this by another name because I have had a doink before.
Is it like a... What's that? Is it like a roach? Is it like a fingernail on your...
Mm-mm.
No, I have no idea.
It's a big joink. A big
joink. It's a big joint.
It is a big joint. Gorilla finger.
Yeah, a doink.
A doink.
So it was a doink.
I call them cannons, but one of my coworkers called it a gorilla finger, so I don't know if that was one of the names you knew it as.
Nope.
Dog walker.
Oh, that's a joint that's just long enough to walk your dog around the block and come back home.
Short joint. Yep.
Yep.
Pearl.
That is the little, usually glass bead that goes in your dab rig that helps. It's like a terp pearl that helps break up terps.
See, yes, that would be one I would accept, but according to Leafly, it's a perfectly rolled joint or blunt.
Oh, well, Leafly, I beg different.
Percy or snap.
Oh, that's shatter. No?
Personal bowl or bowl for just one.
Interesting. My brain went to shatter.
Like pull and
snap. Yeah.
Rip.
Oh, that's what you do when you like inhale on the bong. You take a rip. You take an inhale.
Roach.
Oh, that's the butt of your joint. That's the little tiny bit that's left at the bottom and the filter.
Salad bowl.
Isn't that when you have flour and you throw fucking like wax and shit on top of it?
I think that's a smoothie, maybe.
I made the joke. I made a smoothie because I had strawberry kush and banana Wi-Fi.
That was a joke. Okay,
that was me.
This just says a bowl with a mix of different strains.
Oh, that makes sense.
Spliff.
Oh, I used to roll those in fucking college. You take a cigarette and you bang that sucker open and you mix it with some weed and then you roll it up and smoke it.
Bogart.
That's to bum it off of somebody. Or no, you hold it to Bogart the lighter. You keep a hold of it or like the joint and you don't let it go around the circle.
Yep. Hold on to it long. Not following a puff pass. Baptizing. Your joint or blunt.
Baptizing. that when you... It's not when you lick it. No, I have no idea.
Licking the entire thing to extend its burr time. We're pretty close.
I've done that before. I didn't know that's what that was called.
Mm-hmm.
You just stick it in your mouth and you're...
So this one's lifestyle. It's really short. So I'm going to go into... there are other categories, slang they never heard of, but it's on the DEA list. So in lifestyle, crossfaded.
Oh, that's when you have more than one substance at a time. Usually around here, I know it's like alcohol and weed.
Mm-hmm. Plug.
That's your person on the street who sells you weed.
Re-up.
That's when you go back out for a second time around because you came down from the first time you smoked.
This one, it says to reveal one's personal stash.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Like you're out of weed, so you got to re-up.
Oh, yeah, to go refill. Yeah.
All right, so this is now slang we never heard of. I'm not gonna question you on these ones because I highly doubt you know either. So I'm going to just read them off for you, so we can have a laugh at them. Narc Central. There are a lot of slangs for weed we didn't know about. Turns out the DEA actually has their own list of code words for weed and other drugs too. Some of these made us laugh aloud, and some seem like terms people use in everyday conversation that have nothing to do with weed. So it's basically the narcs and the people who think are weed terms but aren't weed terms. Alfalfa. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Bazooka. That's a strain name.
Yeah.
Catnip.
Makes
sense. Hairy ones.
That's racist.
Is it?
I feel like it would be because there's some other that's a whole different podcast. But I feel like that has racist connotations.
I could see that considering it was the war on drugs was targeting people of color.
And also if it's coming from who you say it is, like the people who are controlling it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Some of these feel like it's from like movies and shit too. Mowing the lawn. What the fuck? My brother. Yeah, I don't know. Queen Anne's lace.
That's a flower.
That is a flower, and also don't fucking eat that. It is poisonous.
Yeah, don't eat it. It's pretty.
It looks like wild carrots.
Yeah.
Don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
It's poisonous. Pink Panther. Because it's always elusive, I guess. Shoes. Shoes.
What?
Hey,
That's the
man,
last thing I think of when I smoke weed.
Can I get an eighth of shoes?
No, I don't want to smoke that.
Aside from the DEA, we found out a lot of other terms on other sites. None of us at Leafly have ever heard of. Here's some of our favorites from Time Magazine's not so distant past. Ace, airplane, asparagus, baby, climb, Houdini, Nixon, 13.
This just sounds like you're telling a robot to tell you words that might be bad.
Who put in weed slang in ChatGPT?
Yeah, this was written by ChatGPT.
Yeah, I've never heard any of that slang. Is there any slang that you think that wasn't on that list that you know of? That think that either our listeners might not know or I might not know, or even you just want to bring up that it was like more of just PA lingo?
I don't know.
Because I had stoner friends, but in high school and shit, but they mostly just called it weed or marijuana.
I just called it pot.
Yeah. Pot was another one. Grass.
Bud. Yeah, grass. Your stash.
Is it like a joking way by like people who like were prohibitionists in the early days calling it like giggle weed or giggle grass or something like that?
Yeah, it's like giggle grass or
jazz cigarettes.
Yeah, those.
I hate that. They're just spliffs, my guy.
Something about lettuce. No, I don't know. I don't think there are any other slang terms that I know of.
Okay.
I just smoked it. I didn't talk about it a whole lot.
Oh man, I didn't really start till I was in the medical. Chud or custy. Someone who specifically goes to like MSOs or major dispensaries, and basically reps their brand all the time. Like True Leaves loyal consumers. The moment you go online or Twitter, or Facebook, or whatever, talking shit about them, they're like, no, they're great here in Florida. No offense to people who live in Florida, but fuck the True Leaf fanboys.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to add before we go on to break?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That was fun, though.
That was fun. And we're going to come back with a little game, and then we're going to come back with a little news, I think, if we have time.
Okay. Hey there, it's Alex from Smoking Out the Closet. We've been so glad to be able to make this podcast for you. And we now have some partners who are happy to help make this podcast happen as well. Our friends over at DaVinci Vapors have sent us one of their many amazing products, the IQC Dry Herb Vaporizer. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you've heard us talk about DaVinci, and we've even used the IQC on the show. With a 0.5 gram dry herb chamber, 30-second heat up time, precision temperature control, removable and rechargeable 18650 battery, and an on time of 2 hours, what's not to love about the DaVinci IQC? Well, what if we told you can get an extra 15% off just for listening to this podcast? That's right. Use the code SOTC15 for 15% off at checkout site-wide. Thanks again to our friends over at DaVinci Vapors. And now, back to the episode.
All right, and we are back, and I have another little game, not as long. Even though I wouldn't really consider that more of a game, that was more like a quiz.
It was fun.
It was fun. So Gray West, a comedian that I saw on TikTok, under the name Gray.West, has been doing this bit during their stand-up and like touring and everything, where they grab people from the audience, it looks like, and they ask them, the audience members, like, hey, this word, it seems like a noun specifically, is it queer or straight, and why? So I took 3 words from that, and then I took a random noun generator and picked 2 additional words. And I'm going to ask you if they are queer or straight.
And then I have to explain why?
Yes.
Okay.
First one, umbrella.
I feel like that's straight.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like a lot of straight people carry umbrellas and they don't want to get wet. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit. And a lot of queer people I've seen, they just walk around in the rain.
See, okay.
Like boots and raincoats more than umbrellas, because they usually have backpacks and coffee and things they're holding in their hands.
The person that Gray talked to in the video also said something very, very similar to this.
Really?
And I actually disagree. I think it's queer.
Oh?
How many fucking umbrella terms are there in our community?
You're right. You're right.
Window.
Window? I don't know. I think they're kind of straight. They're kind of, I don't know, because I'm thinking really metaphorically, because I'm a writer. So I'm like, windows, what do they represent? Windows to the soul. They're just kind of see-through.
Kind of out in the open, already there. Okay.
Or just there.
I can see that one.
Yeah.
Whatever justification you have is your own. It's just, what do you think it is?
I just think they're straight, yeah.
Spoon.
My first reaction is to say those are queer, because a lot of the queer community is neurodivergent. We talk about spoons because spoons are the amount of things you think you can do in a day for somebody who's chronically ill / has a mental illness.
Okay.
So that makes me think, I think spoons are queer.
Okay.
Also, have you seen spoon rings? Lesbians wear spoon rings a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so that was it from the ones I took from TikTok. Now these two are the ones from the random noun generator.
Okay.
Injury.
That's straight, because I think of football. Football and like tackling people and take them off the field and he has a concussion. And
No, that's okay. Okay. And climate.
queer. I think it's queer. And I think, why do I think it's queer? I don't know, because my brain went climate change, and I feel like queers care about the environment.
Okay. Also, this is just personal feelings.
There's no real reason
rhyme
or
or
like
reason
rhyme
or-
or reason. This is just where my brain went to when you said the. It's like when you play that game of I say a noun, you say a noun. I say a word, you say a word.
First word that comes to
word
mind.
association game.
Yeah.
Just to see how your brain works.
Yeah, it's really cool. I thought you were like that. I didn't think we would blow through it that fast.
Oh well.
But it's okay because we got more stuff we can talk about. Can we talk about inclusive language and how it's becoming a hot button issue right now for TERFs and such? So for those of you who aren't aware what I'm referring to inclusive language specifically for trans men and non-binary people that's becoming an issue. It's been a lot more the last couple of years, but it's increased heavily late last year to this year. So for a while, it's people who menstruate. Now the current issue is birthing person, person who chest feeds, and I guess people who menstruate is also back up and they're in the list.
My first reaction to this is, why in the fuck do you care what we call people with these parts? If literally, it makes me happy hearing this because I am I'm not binary person who owns a cunt.
A person with a uterus. That was another one. A person with a
uterus. I just phrase it differently.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, if you're listening. I know you hate that word. But I own one, unfortunately, to my chagrin, a lot of the time. And that term like encompasses more people. And also, if you don't have those parts, why do you care? It's the same argument of, if it's not about you, shut the fuck up. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, and my thing was, so what kind of came up from this is the one lady, I can't remember her name, from the Young Turks, recently tweeted that she's not transphobic, but these like this quote unquote inclusive language is bullcrap, and I'm like, you do realize you're getting angry for essentially someone saying firefighter instead of fireman,
or like service hole cover instead of manhole cover,
and because like there's like a whole lot of like. Someone brought up a really good point I saw recently online is you can be a birthing person and be a cis woman.
Yeah.
If you're a surrogate and you're not keeping the child, but you are raising and carrying the baby to term, you are a birthing person.
You're not a mother.
You're not the mother.
Person. Yeah.
Exactly. Even if it is not your egg and it is the egg of the mother, you are still the one giving birth. You would be a birthing person. But it's for more like the trans men and non-binary people, like the seahorse dads, you know, and the ones who can breastfeed versus like who can't. You know, it's like saying, "Oh, my baby," like me. I was a formula baby. My mom couldn't produce enough milk for me, so I had to be a formula baby. How is that bad for saying, "Oh, I'm like I chest feed or I breastfeed," you know? Because there was a cis man who started lactating as a part of an experiment and everything, and he was able to lactate for his baby. Yeah. I mean, in other countries, not here in the States, lesbian couples, the one that didn't carry to the baby to term, could get on a medication to start lactating.
Oh, to help feed the baby.
Aw. The medicine is illegal here in the United States for some reason, but in other countries it's fine. I can't remember the name of the medication though off the top of my head. Someone in the comments or like Twitter or whatever, contact us and let us know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't get what it's inclusive language. Is it language to help everyone feel more included? How is that an issue?
I think a lot of the pushback comes from, and the people, the specific group of people that I have in mind, they're always like, oh, it's been this way for so long. Why do we have to change it? It's the old people who are like stuck in their ways,
Mm-hmm.
who are not open to change, who don't grasp the concept of what I literally was talking to you about this morning or this afternoon, I think it was, that everything around you is constantly in flux, constantly changing, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
We don't want stagnation.
No, you do not want stagnation.
It's kind of like how people were being against like the whole change, like, oh, they're trying to change the definition of woman, right? And one person was like, I agree. We need to change, but we need to change the definition of woman because the reason for a long time, and I actually got a little bit of a history lesson from them. When women's suffrage was starting, they defined women in a way that basically just said white women, and that's why they always refer to black women as black females. Because when you give them that woman, you give them humanity. They don't want to give trans people humanity. And that's what they did during women's suffrage.
Mm-hmm.
They only wanted to give that humanity to white women, not women of color. And it was a very interesting kind of like a sociology kind of, and more anthropology, I guess, a look at this point, like historical and societal at the same time.
Yeah, we mix of like sociology and anthropology.
But like it was very interesting to kind of look at it as like a lens of society. I was like, oh wow, it makes a lot of sense.
I actually talked about this in a oh my gosh, what was it? It was a sociology of race class that I had that talked about the intersectionality of women and people of color and how women of color have it significantly harder in society than even just women.
Mm-hmm. No.
And also the person who coined the term was a black woman.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that before on the podcast.
Yeah.
Way earlier. I can't even remember what episode.
So early.
I think that was pre-moving to Pittsburgh.
It's important, and I'm not going to lie to you. It's one of my favorite fun facts. I love that word. I don't know. That's one of my favorite words.
Yeah, it's a good word.
Intersectionality.
Oh, here's one. Speaking of trans and stuff. Patricio, probably mispronouncing that, and I do apologize.
You're pronouncing a lot.
Patricio Manuel, a trans mixed martial artist, just won a major match.
Heck yeah!
I think it's his first one, if I don't recall. I didn't make a note of which match it was because I didn't do enough research on it. Because we got busy at work and stuff. Is usually when I do some of this research.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, nobody's talking about it. A trans masculine athlete won a match against a cis man.
Mm-hmm.
It was either boxing or mixed martial arts. From the video I saw on TikTok, like the clip, it looked like a UFC style match. So I'm going to say mixed martial arts. I could be wrong. But he won. No one's talking about it because it's not a trans woman and it's not fitting their patriarchal narrative.
We need to be talking about this. Good for you. Good job.
Yes.
Proud of you.
First, Manuel, congratulations.
Congrats.
On your win. I hope there are many more for you in the future. I'm not going to lie. From that clip, that was a lot of technique and power behind it. And that comes with a lot of training. So I'm very happy for Manuel. But it's been very silent because it's not the whole men in like sneaking into women's sports narrative,
Mm-hmm.
And that's been irking me a lot lately. So I just kind of wanted to spread that word because It's something that they're not showing because it doesn't fit their narrative to put trans people down. Oh, can we talk about Disney?
Yeah, let's talk about Disney.
So, for those of you who didn't know, and this came out a little bit before we were supposed to record last week. We haven't talked about it yet, but I really want to talk about this freaking two-parter Uno reverse card that Disney pulled. So for those of you who aren't aware, kind of catch you up on quick speed from my understanding. Disney pays for a lot of like the road work and everything because it's beneficial to them and to Florida. So
Yeah.
Disney pays for the road work around Orlando, around the parks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, they used to get special tax breaks.
Yeah.
Well, because Disney was being quote unquote too woke and not playing ball with DeSantis said, "You're not getting those tax breaks anymore." And then because they continued to still be very vocal against him, he said, "Okay, I'm going to implement my own board now for your company," which first, that is a gross overreach of government power for a private company.
Yeah.
So here's the two things that has happened that they're kind of giving the screws to DeSantis. First, they announced that they're going to host the biggest LGBT conference in the world, bringing people from all over the world to Disney World Magic Kingdom. And they're going to hold special events and everything. They're going to bring people from like Disney Paris, Disney Tokyo, all the other parks. They're very vocal and adamant. Big celebrities who are very pro LGBT or in the community to Disney World Magic Kingdom. And then they also put the screws to DeSantis' board. So apparently this is going on for a while, but they did everything above bar. They made public announcements and everything. They said, "Hey, we're doing this." It passed all the state stuff they had to do. So Disney's board put in a royalty clause into effect for the next board when they start. So basically, from my understanding, very shorthand version is the new board cannot change anything to Disney one way or the other until the last remaining heir of the current King of England at the time of writing it, which is King Charles II, has been dead for 21 years. The current youngest living heir of King Charles II, I think her name is Lily, Prince Harry's daughter, who's 2. So assuming she has a long, healthy life, and she's not like her great-grandmother, say she lives for 70 years. That's going to be like 2090 by the time she passes.
So 2100 is when everybody there. Wow.
Yeah.
I think Disney will still be around then.
Probably. Disney's almost 100 years old,
Yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
Steamboat Willie's what? Getting close to 90-something years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, Disney pulled a big Uno reverse card. So while I don't like Disney a whole heck of a lot because they're a heartless, faceless, evil corporation, and that's just most corporations in my opinion because they abuse and use people.
That just is all corporations. Point blank period. That's the end of it.
No, there are a couple, like the one where the CEO actually has like a 15%. He's only 15% higher than the highest grossing employee.
Wow.
Because he basically takes all that extra he would have gotten it and divided it to everybody in the company. So they have a better ease in life. I can't remember the name of the company.
There's always exceptions to the rule.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, not saying there aren't exceptions to the rule,
but most major multi-billion, trillion-dollar companies, most Fortune 500 companies, I'm going to say 499 out of all the 500 Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
I'll give one exception if there's one like that guy. I doubt it. But are corporate, greedy, corrupt jagoffs.
Very eloquent.
You know what?
Jagoffs.
Leave me alone. Don't judge me.
It's a good word.
It's a good word.
It's gender neutral. Inclusive language. Jagoffs. Our partner and I were talking about that the other day.
Really?
Yeah, whenever we were going to the club for my birthday. And I was like yelling at people. And I was like, I don't know why, but I was gonna be like, sir, madam, or however otherwise you identify. Beautiful fucking turn signal. And I was like, there's a word for that. Yins. Yins are fucking jagoffs. Yins are jagoffs. And then our partner was like, oh yeah, you got a whole set of inclusive language words here. Yins and jagoffs.
Yeah. What was it? I've been saying inclusive language my entire life. Oh yeah? How do you figure that? Well, everybody's a fucker.
Yeah.
Even if you're ace.
Everybody's a fucker.
You fuck something up. One time or other, we all do.
Yep.
First, everyone's an ass too, because most of us have one.
Yeah.
I did not think we would blow through that.
That was fast. We can make a big deal out of your birthday still. Your birthday. We still haven't talked about our birthdays.
Do you want to talk about our birthdays? We got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, your birthday happened and my birthday happened.
Okay. Well, should we just do quick ones?
Yeah, we'll do a quick bit.
Okay. So for my birthday, we went out to this restaurant. It's all you can eat sushi, but they charge you if you leave anything on your plate. And I forgot to tell mom and dad about that until after the fact, because dad gave back that extra bit of rice he had, and Kira didn't finish her chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
I don't think they really charged us that much extra, though, to be honest.
No. Literally, I would have ate the rice, but then we would have had more fucking sushi left over.
Yeah. Oh, but that was so good. You, me, and Mia, our partner, we'll all get like one or two things and just kind of steal off of each other's plates.
Yeah, we'll swap pieces.
Yeah. That was really good.
It was so good. I ate so much seaweed salad.
That vegan one mom got, it was like fried banana and avocado and something else.
Yeah,
that was a Miami roll. Oh.
That was so good.
So good. And that noise I just made was basically Homer drooling, where he's like gurgling, spit in his mouth, like, oh. And then I got a lot of cool stuff. I got some dresses and stuff, and one of the dresses I got for my birthday recently.
For my birthday, you wore it.
Yeah, I wore it for your birthday.
I'm mailing it Amazon. I'm probably gonna, if that money drops, I'm gonna order tomorrow, and it'll ship in a couple days.
But yeah, it was very nice. Got to see my family and everything. We didn't get a picture though. And mom got upset because she was like, "You know what we didn't do? Take a picture." And I'm like, "Oh no, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Everybody was together and we didn't get a picture."
Damn. Well, I mean, it just means we're gonna have to do it again,
and
then get a fucking picture. So somebody's got to remember.
Your birthday, we went out for a burlesque brunch.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I had the best red velvet pancakes ever, and they had little tiny chicken nuggets on them, chicken tender pieces, and this amazing sauce on it, and berries and strawberries and blueberries and cotton candy mimosa. And our waiter was cute and sweet and helpful, and I gave him a tip.
Yeah, the people that work at the can we say the restaurant or the location?
I don't see why not.
The Bridge Music Bar
in Lawrenceville.
was freaking amazing.
Oh my god,
And
I
the
love
staff
it.
there were really nice. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, I highly recommend going for a brunch.
Go out there. Go have some food, have a drink.
They have a burlesque show. What is it? The Velvet Cuties or something like that?
Satin Hearts.
Satin Hearts,
Satin
yes.
Hearts. That perform there the
first Sunday of every month.
Yes, first Sunday of every month, which just happened to be my birthday. But yeah, it was so much fun. I was there 2 months ago with Mia.
Mm-hmm.
Such a fun time. And then we went to the heavy metal market.
Yes, that was cool.
At Black Forge in McKees Rocks. That was fun.
Some of the best coffee I've ever had.
The best coffee ever. My favorite coffee place. And there were so many cool, weird things in that parking lot and inside. And I got a new collar from a friend of ours, Maximus. We follow him on our podcast Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes some cool leather stuff. Should totally go check him out.
Yeah, speaking of that, there was also... Hang on, where's my wallet?
He had a business card for someone else we had met at the heavy metal market.
A few people, but the one with the cannabis journal.
That's who I was thinking of.
Okay.
So we were waiting in line, and of course, this place is great, and everybody's coming for the heavy metal market. And what do you do before you go, I don't know what you want to call this, like flea market shopping, whatever. You get a drink, you get coffee, and you walk around, or a soda or whatever. And this place has the best coffee, and they won Best of Pittsburgh this past year and for coffee. And they were people wrapping around the inside of this building. We were waiting there, and this person behind us had a table, and they had cannabis journals. And I was like, this is freaking cool.
Dapper Deer Studio.
Yes. So we have a Skittle this week.
Or two. I kind of want
2 Skittles.
I want to do Dapper and then...
Then the bridge?
Okay, maybe 3. I was also going to say Max.
Oh, yeah, no, you do Max.
So yeah, no, let's do. I also want to do the bridge though.
All right, well, we'll put everybody's things in the show notes, and you can go check everybody out. Definitely. It's so many wonderful people.
Yeah, it was really cool. There was someone who makes like leather stuff out of like scrap leather work stuff, which was really cool.
Yeah.
We need to go.
And then we need to go back. It happens every month, so. Next one's next month, May 22nd, I believe. May 22nd. Yeah. Sounds right. And then what else did we do for my birthday? Got pie, and we had fried chicken.
I took way too long making fried chicken.
It was good though.
Was it worth it?
It was good. Yeah. I mean, I started falling asleep, so I was like,
I need to invest in like those like bigger air fryers that are enclosed. I could just set. It's like an air fryer, but it actually has fryer oil in it. You can put in and everything.
Yeah, it's like a timer fryer or something.
As I didn't put it super high with the stovetop because I was worried about burning the house down.
I was already paranoid. I didn't look at you the entire time
I know.
frying it. I didn't even come into the kitchen and say hi.
Can I talk about the dredge though? I did.
Oh my god, that was so good. What all was in that?
Okay, so
now that I'm awake, I can ask you what all was in that.
So I did very much kind of taking from the restaurant I used to work at. I did a double dredge. So I had a flour blend, same flour blend. So you take I patted the drumsticks down. I dipped it in the flour, dipped it in the dredge, and then dipped it in the second batch of flour, and then I fried it. The flour mix was flour, all-purpose flour, cornstarch, paprika, chili powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. But the liquid dredge was soy milk, pickle juice, eggs. I think I did about 5 eggs. Frank's Red Hot. And then all of the seasonings I threw into, not the cornstarch, but all the seasonings I threw into the flour, into the dredge as well.
Oh, that was so good.
It was good.
Had it for breakfast this morning, too.
Yeah, was it good as leftovers?
It was good as leftovers. I probably would have nuked it again, though.
Yeah.
I also was talking to people on the phone today. God, I want to brag. I was adulting today. I called a tax dude. I called the 3 different doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to the office, our apartment office.
And try getting pay stubs from like 2 jobs ago.
Yeah, when I worked at fucking... I think I've said that I worked at GameStop before.
After you left, we both talked about...
Called fucking GameStop. Thank goodness for... This is not a sponsor. My Pixel phone. My Google Pixel phone. Because now I don't have to listen to GameStop's horrible hold music. Hopefully I never have to listen to it again a day in my life. Holy shit, I forgot how bad that was. Oh, God. And then the moment I saw a hold for me, I never used it before. I hit that button. I didn't have to fucking listen to it. And all it did was go, when it heard somebody pick up, it went, please hold while we connect you with your party. And I picked up and I said, hello, and I didn't have to listen to that horrible hold music ever again. I think I was on hold with them for at least 20 minutes, minimum. That's the minimum you could be on hold with GameStop. It was that way when I worked with them.
Oh boy, next time on Game Grumps.
Next time on Game Grumps.
We are at that time.
Yeah, so...
Once again, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
And thank you so much for listening to
Smoking Out the Closet.